In the beginning, before the first dawn of time, there was only God, the Eternal One, the Alpha and the Omega, the Creator of all that was and all that would ever be. From His throne of light God spoke, and the heavens themselves were born. Stars, galaxies, and worlds took form at the sound of His word, and in the highest realms of heaven He created a host of powerful beings, angels, radiant and mighty, each designed to worship and serve Him. But among these angels, there was one who stood out above the rest. His name was Lucifer. Lucifer was no ordinary angel. He was dazzling in beauty, unmatched in wisdom, clothed in brilliance that shimmered like precious stones. His voice resounded like music itself, for he was the very embodiment of heaven's praise. Some called him the morning star, for his light was radiant, second only to God Himself. Lucifer was not only beautiful, he was entrusted with power. He was set as a guardian over God's throne, leading choirs of angels in worship, filling the heavens with songs of glory. In many ways, he was the masterpiece of angelic creation, but inside the heart of Lucifer, something began to stir. As he gazed upon his own splendor, he began to compare himself to the Almighty. Day after day, surrounded by worship directed only to God, a thought grew inside him. Why should God alone receive all the glory? The seed of pride was planted, and pride would be his downfall. Lucifer began to whisper to himself, "I am more than just a servant. My throne should rise above the stars of God. I will ascend to the heavens. I will be like the Most High." And this whisper turned into rebellion. Lucifer was not alone. With cunning words, he swayed other angels, a third of heaven's host. He promised them freedom, power, and thrones of their own if they would rise with him. These angels, once loyal, now burned with the same pride that consumed their leader. The day came when heaven itself shook with conflict. God, the eternal King, confronted Lucifer. There before the throne, Lucifer declared his ambition. He would no longer serve. He would no longer bow. He wanted to be God. But there can only be one God. And so, a great war erupted in heaven. Angels clashed against angels, light against darkness, loyalty against rebellion. The brilliance of heaven was torn by the violence of battle as Lucifer and his followers sought to overthrow the throne of the Almighty. But they could not prevail, for no creation can ever overthrow its Creator. With power unmatched, God cast judgment. Lucifer, the shining morning star, was stripped of his place in heaven. His beauty, once pure, became corrupted. His name, once glorious, became cursed. And with a mighty command, God cast him down. Lucifer fell from the highest heavens to the depths of despair. And so the morning star became the prince of darkness. Lucifer became Satan, the adversary, the deceiver, the accuser of mankind. Banished from heaven, he no longer walked among the radiant halls of glory. Instead, he roams the earth, seeking to steal, kill, and destroy. His pride did not die with his fall. It transformed into hatred, aimed at all that God loves. You see, Lucifer could not defeat God in heaven, so now he wages war against God's creation, against humanity, against you and me. And even today, his whispers remain the same. Just as he whispered to himself long ago, he whispers to us, "You don't need God. You can be your own master. You can be like Him." It is the same lie repeated since the beginning of time. The same pride that brought down an angel of light still seeks to bring down mankind. But hear this, Lucifer's fall was not the end of the story, for just as Satan plotted destruction, God prepared redemption. Through Christ, victory was sealed, and though the enemy still rages, his time is short, his defeat certain. Lucifer once held a throne of music in heaven, but now he sits in chains of pride and rebellion. He once sought to rise above the Most High, but instead he was brought lower than any creature could fall, and one day the same voice that cast him from heaven will speak again. On that day, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Even Lucifer himself will have no choice but to bow before the glory of God. Until then, the battle continues, a battle not of flesh and blood, but of spirit, a battle for souls, a battle that began with a proud angel in heaven and still echoes through eternity. Lucifer's story is a warning and a reminder. No matter how high we rise, pride can lead to our fall, and no matter how dark the night becomes, God's light still shines brighter. This is the story of Lucifer, the fallen star, the deceiver, the enemy of all that is good. And this is the story of God, the eternal King, whose throne will never be shaken, whose power will never be challenged, and whose glory will shine forever and ever.